Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of 20ish podcast. So, today we are going to start this conversation on like small topics. We are going to talk about small topics today rather than a one wholesome topic.
Yeah,
So, let's start.
yeah. So we will provide appropriate timestamps on both the platforms, Spotify and YouTube. But let us begin with the episode. And the first thing that we are going to talk about today is why Western media thinks that India is Quad's, weakest link. So if you don't know what Quad is, we have made a video on it, which we will link in the description box. So just go and listen to that episode, and you'll get to know what exactly this alliance is. And Western media thinks that India is the weakest part of the squad. So why exactly is that?
Yeah. So,
Yes.
I guess they think India is the weakest link because maybe economically India is not as much prosperous as all the other nations, but India has a strategic location which would really help the quad. But they don't, I guess they are not paying heed to this.
Yeah, so India has a strategic location, but it might not be economically that prosper. And when we say economically, we do not mean that our economy is one of the five biggest economy in the world. We do not mean that. We are talking about a per capita basis, the living standard and
Yeah,
all. So if you compare the living standards of the three other nations that are US, Australia, and Japan, India's per capita income is very low.
yeah, compared to all these nations combined.
Yeah, and one more reason why we think that Western media thinks so is because we are portrayed in that way in
Yeah,
the Western media in front of the whole world that we are a country of slums, people are very poor here, so that their news can change. And we have also recorded an episode on this topic, which we will link in the description. So basically, they just want to show that our nation is very poor, and we are not very much rich and stuff like that. Like we live in slums, small areas, and every time it rains, our houses get destroyed and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what they want to basically portray in front of the world.
yeah. And also, it's mostly a prejudice which has been propagated by a lot of many countries that India is one of the poorest economy. People here die because of
Diseases like
um,
malaria and
yeah,
all.
yeah, which might not be true to its the extent they are propagating. Of course, we are still a developing nation with an
No,
economy.
I mean, all of South Asia, like, people from Pakistan, Nepal,
Yeah,
Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, they come to our nation for their treatment, for their medical
yeah,
treatment.
and also for education.
Yeah,
So of course we are not as well off as other countries, but we definitely have a very strong hold in the southeastern area.
yeah. And also, I think, since we align with their mentality,
Yeah,
because India is a growing capitalist country, even though a lot of our schemes are very socialistic, but still, we are not we are not like China that,
yeah.
we're just going and opposing
Where
our,
everything is government owned. Of course, India is a
yeah,
mixed
I mean, it's a
economy.
democracy
Yeah,
in short. So, yeah, this was the reason. And I would suggest that to not pay heed to this media houses because they just want to sell their news. That's it.
yeah,
Really don't care how informative you are. They just want the news to be, read by most people.
yeah. It's very sensational. This is kind of yellow journalism.
Yes, exactly. Um, so now let us move to the second topic, which I think is very interesting. That is why is Russia giving more importance to Pakistan than India on the issue of Afghanistan and Taliban?
Yeah, given the strain between Indian and Russian relations at present, it was very much foreseen. This
Yeah,
was something which was bound to happen, given India's reluctance in trying to actually work on India-Russia relations. Given that Russia has been our one of the oldest ally, it is New Delhi's for it should be New Delhi's foremost responsibility to work on India-Russia relations.
And also, we should firstly talk about what Russia-Pakistan relationship basically is. Because see, even since the war of 1971 happened, there is no such, formal strategic relationship between them. But now that Pakistan and China are very close, they are, all-weather allies. So somewhere in the world, if you see, even, China is very much growing to be a superpower, and it might be a superpower. If you are saying it, I will really not oppose you because yeah, it is, countering United States in one way or the other. Even though Russia is also not a very good ally of USA, and they have always competed with them, but Russia in its, I'm sorry, China in its true sense is actually competing and even beating United States. So, as we know that Russia and China do not have a very good relationship historically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, I mean, whatever happened in the 1962's Indo-China War, Sino-Indian War. So, what happened basically was that, the Russian president or whoever, it was USSR, right? And I
yeah.
think who was the leader of USSR at that time?
I don't know.
I think it was Khrushchev or someone. I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe. I'm not sure.
yeah, I'm also not sure, so please go and check. So anyway, the leader of USSR said China to not, focus on things like war and just grow so that the world will get to know that communism is not bad. But of course, Mao did not listen, and we all know that 1962 war did happen. So after
Yeah,
that, USSR aligned with India, because there was a growing uh, huge disparity between China and Russian type of communism. So yeah, and basically now Russia has come to realize that they cannot be enemies with China forever, because
yeah,
we have to accept the fact that it is growing, and it is not going to go back. It is not going to set back like USA is gonna be. So yeah, so now Russia realizes that they need to be strategically, present in the Afghanistan region, because of course they share some kind of border with them, not Russia, but USSR nations.
yeah,
They share border with Afghanistan, and in the Afghanistan issue, they have to align with China because, of course, USA left, and they are like, you know what, we don't care because the next Osama bin Laden will not take birth. So, of course, we do not have any business in this region. So, USA basically left, and now China is a dominant player in this region. And if Russia does not align strategically with China, they might lose out a lot. And Taliban even might enter the USSR nations and try to destroy them. So this is the reason why uh, Russia is giving a lot of importance to Pakistan, because number one, Pakistan is a good ally of China, and number two, because Pakistan has a very good hold in that region, right?
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, this was basically the reason why. And of course, we cannot blame Russia for thinking only of
yeah,
its own, because come on, even India would have done the same had we been in their position. And we just know that this relationship is not going to be very strong. It is just based on the fact that they want to counter Taliban, and that's it. And not just counter, they do not want Taliban to enter in the USSR nation. So this is the reason why they are just giving them a lot of importance. But in other matters like defense and all, of course, India, we will give more importance to India only.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So this was all about. Do you want to add on something?
No, not really. Yeah,
So should we move to the next topic?
of course.
So it is why Japan vowed to defend Taiwan against the Chinese invasion.
Yeah,
So
just
as we know, Japan, it said in did they say in their military report?
Yeah, actually, like Japan has also installed all its military equipments like very near to Taiwan, like 300 kilometers from Taiwan, which could actually, uh, reach China if China tries to attack or cede Taiwan into its own nation.
Yeah,
And it's very natural that Japan is reacting in this way because Taiwan is a very strategically located, and if China captures Taiwan, the next would be Japan. So it's very much like if they don't speak now, they will be the next victim.
yeah, and also there is one thing which you all should know, our listeners should know, is that Japan is basically a puppet of USA. Whatever
Yes.
USA is doing, they will have to
Mhm.
repeat that and mirror that. So yeah, this is one reason why they are even defending Taiwan so much. And we all know that an indirect reason of solving course is Taiwan and comforting China.
Yeah.
So so
Um,
yeah,
Also, now that we know that like whatever surfaced on the internet recently, the Chinese politicians were all about like, Japan should be attacked again by a nuclear weapon because they aren't satisfied by two, so there must be more. This is really really what we say. It's disheartening to hear such words, and even when China says that they follow policies of no first use of nuclear weapon. So it's very ironical and shameful at the same time. And of course, Japan is right in its own way because everyone wants to secure their own uh,
yes.
freedom and nation.
Yes, exactly. And I was reading a post on Quora, and
Mm,
it was answered by a Taiwanese. And
mm,
matlab, in his bio, it was written that he lives in Taiwan. So, you know, what they were talking about, it actually appeared on a feed, not a feed, on a space. Basically, Quora has space. So the space name was
mm,
China, the world leader. Even I mean, even you can go and check it out. I'll give the link in the description box. So basically, they were talking about that person was talking about how Japanese leaders, they have their own propaganda. They All they do is lick the boots of USA and stuff like that. And I was really very shocked to see that people who live in Taiwan have such a negative view about USA and Japan. I mean, don't they want their freedom? I mean, I would really like to research more on this topic, that how the people of Taiwan think. I mean, if are they pro China or are they pro Japan and Japan and USA?
mm. Also, given like the uh, pressure on Xi Jinping to do something which would, actually woo his own nation's people. It's very much in his, bucket list to capture Taiwan in his reign.
Yeah, or it might be the case that a lot of Chinese people are living in Taiwan and they
Mm,
are talking like this.
yeah,
It might be the case. Yeah.
maybe.
So now let us come to our final topic of the day, and that is, what are India's options against the Pakistan Taliban or team or alliance?
Well,
So I think, uh, I mean, I was reading an article, and we have also posted that on our Twitter, that how Russia basically said that India should carve its own path when it comes to Taliban, because that is the reality right now.
mm,
So I think, do you think that we need to establish some diplomatic relations with Taliban?
I don't think that's gonna do any good because we are not gonna help them in any way like Pakistan does in the
Yeah,
Afghan Taliban case. They do it because they want them to kind of capture the power, but we don't want Pakistan Taliban to capture the power in Pakistan. Or we are of no use to them because we are not gonna help them with ammunition of people or in any way or support them in a globalized way. So talking to talking to a terrorist group diplomatically is not something India has ever done, and I don't think it should also do now.
Yeah. I mean, China is diplomatically talking with them.
Yeah. So, I mean,
But
China is all about, China doesn't care about anyone. They just
yeah,
want to safeguard their interests, but we are not like them.
yeah, right,
For us,
right.
our ideals are our ideals. A terrorist group is a terrorist group, irrespective of who they are.
Yeah. And I mean, Russia's reaction was very bitter in this regard, that
Yeah.
we should carve our own path, but at least that is okay. Because,
Mm,
see, if Russia says that we are with India in this regard,
mm,
then of course India is with Afghanistani government. And if
yeah.
Taliban comes to know that Russia is standing with India, then they might enter the USSR nations and, start attacking uh, those nations. That will be very bad for
Yeah.
Russia.
Also, like all the most of the USSR nations right now are at very high risk of Taliban incursion.
Yeah, even we are at a very high risk
Yeah,
because,
even.
as we mentioned in one of the previous episodes, that
Mhm.
Taliban don't like us Indians. And basically, whatever happened with Danish Siddiqui, they
Mm.
were very glad to know that he
He was an
was an
Indian.
Indian. They were very glad to know that.
Mm.
It's very shameful. And we are right when we say that they are a terrorist group because that's what they do.
Yeah. Also, now recently they have also attacked the Indian-made Salva Dam. Who does
Yeah.
that? I mean,
I mean,
it's
India
the
has a
law.
lot of investment there, and we
Yeah.
just need to protect that.
Hmm.
So maybe a permanent, sorry, a temporary, you know, some kind, we can help the Afghani military, basically. We can train them, we can give them equipments.
Hmm.
We have also talked about this in our previous episode. And we can maybe do a temporary kind of, uh, what to say,
Yeah.
I mean, we can do a
Temporary.
compromise with the Taliban temporarily
Yeah.
because,
Of course, we are with the Afghan government, but the how for how long they can stand without the international support is really a
exactly.
it's really a matter of uh, you know time. We'll see that in time.
Yeah, because USA is got with India in this regard, and so is Russia.
Hmm.
So we do need to carve our own path. And two of the proposed solutions are this: that
Hmm.
number one, they can help the Afghani military by giving them training and weapons and basically arms, and they can do some kind of temporary compromise with the Talibani
Hmm.
because the Talibanis are like, if the Indians don't come between our way, then we will not harm them.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, this spirit can be used for our own interest.
Also, like the minority groups which are at very high risk in Afghanistan, we should we mostly the Hindus and the Sikhs,
Yeah.
also some sects of Muslims also. We
The
should
ones
all
who helped the US Army,
yeah
basically.
we should also have to keep things in mind, because of course no one other than India is going to think about them. So maybe we should out of humanity think about them, although we are not in a position to help them in any way.
Yeah, but one country which might be with India in this regard is UK, because
Mm.
I read an interview of the permanent representative of UK to the United Nations, and she was like, we don't consider Taliban a government or a government entity in any regard. So
Of
maybe
course.
UK and India can work in this together to support the Afghani military and, of course, help the people in Afghanistan who are under the threat of Taliban.
Yeah. Also, the situation is going to get better with time.
With
Also,
time,
this yeah, or this decade is gonna be one of the most, you know, toughest,
deadliest.
deadliest decade of the year of the generations of time.
Yeah, I mean, just like
The
the 1940s was one of the deadliest decades back in 20th century. This
yeah,
might be for 21st century.
of course,
Yeah. So, do you want to add on something else?
not really.
Okay, then should we just wrap up this episode?
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this was a very small episode, but we do hope that you got to know about this small things which are very important because we might even make a full episodes on this.
On any of these.
Yeah, right. So bye bye.
Hmm. Bye.